this special episode of Sticks and Strings, we're tie-dyeing t-shirts.
Good. Be careful. Little dog, come here. Come here, sweetheart.
And
Come
I have
here.
to try to pour it in here without burning anyone.
Or yourself.
Oh, it's spilling.
That's hot. Are we ready to
That's all
do
on
stuff
that
though? Okay. She's putting in boiling water. We're getting ready to tie-dye these shirts for fun.
And I'm going to add.
So I've got 3 ties on the bottom and 2 in the sleeves. And I'm going to do 2 on the shoulders.
A cup of salt. So I want, this is a half cup, so I want 2 of these, right?
Yeah. In the hot water?
Uh-huh. I don't know, because when I dye fabric for cross stitch,
It's different.
I don't do this, yeah.
Right. This is
This
where we use our reading skills.
Add hot water to a plastic bucket. Add 1 teaspoon of liquid dish detergent for best results. Add 1 cup of salt to dye bath for okay.
I'm going to bring more hot water, but it's going to be hot from the tap, not boiling. I'll put the other boiling in that one.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a lot of salt.
yeah, that's why I bought another thing of salt. We're using a tying pattern that I had made up when I was working, and it's how I dyed this shirt.
Give me that bucket.
Okay. When I
I'm
bring
just
the
gonna put it back over there. I'm just gonna.
yeah, I cut one. I have no place to put it. It's empty, but I have no place to put it. I'm gonna move this. Let's move this one.
Okay, just a second.
Okay.
I'm tying.
So we'll show a picture of how they look when they're tied.
I was gonna say, so this is different than the technique you would use for cross stitch fabric, which doesn't have to get put in the laundry like a t-shirt does.
Well, you could use the same technique.
Yeah, you could. You could add salt and all that.
If
But
it was
you
something like you were going to wash or something like that.
yeah, but you don't really have to.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to put on an overshirt so I don't dye my yarnologist shirt.
Your gynecologist.
No,
shirt.
not my gynecologist shirt. There's one more tied.
I'm not
Let
gonna.
me take a quick picture of this one.
Okay. Did you want to move this, Eve?
Yeah, but I just so
Are you
that
supposed to stir that water?
yeah, she's
Yeah,
just,
but she's gonna add more water to it.
Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna add some tap hot.
Oh, this isn't heavy. I don't know why I thought it would be heavy.
Oh, careful. I'm sorry.
Kicking buckets. They're kicking
Oh, there we go,
buckets.
the bucket. I was going to put it in water.
So our
in that-
water here in Phoenix, if you run it, gets broiling whether you want it to or not.
Where's that?
So
What bag? Oh, it's right in front of you. Is that? There's that plastic knife they can use to stir the.
okay.
Here's another bucket. I'm going to keep tying
I
shirts.
couldn't remember what I was doing. It's like taking a picture of
Take a
the
picture.
Sure, tied this one. It's partly tied.
Okay.
I have a plastic knife.
Okay, this
What
is
size
tied.
this one? Oh,
I just tied
the sleeves
the sleeve. No, the bottom.
and the two
I
sleeves.
just started.
I
Yeah,
think this is
sleeve.
partially tied. And we're gonna do a technique where you do 2 colors. And honestly, I first saw it, not the tying, the technique, but the 2 colors on Pinterest like a million years
Can I
ago.
retie yours? Will you be
Yeah, go
offended?
ahead. No,
Okay.
I don't care.
And I don't remember
little bit more-
whose it was.
I twister.
And I didn't really do anything other than look at the picture and go, cool. And figured out
You reverse engineered it.
I did. Well, I just kind of looked at it and went, I could do that. And I have a shirt that looks very much like that. It was a 4th of July tie-dye thing. I've worn it in some of our videos. It's red on top and blue on the bottom and white in the middle. You need to stir this?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Just mix up that salt.
So you can probably hear the water running. And I was saying here in Phoenix,
Tap water
the
is
tap water.
even the cold.
Yeah.
And especially in the height of the summer when it's 115 out, you cannot take a cold.
Yeah. I was gonna
You
say,
cannot get
when-
cold water. You can cook your vegetables by rinsing them in cold water. That's what I
Yeah.
what I
always
always
you
do
blanch them for sure.
in the summertime is like, you know, to take my medicine is
Did
like,
you put the soap in here, Lily?
no, is I get a glass of water when it first comes out of the tap.
Yep.
I fill my water, my
Yeah,
cup
otherwise
up,
it's hot.
because then it gets hot. Yeah.
She said put the
Oh, okay. Dish soap.
dish soap in there.
1 teaspoon TSP.
So did you actually wash these or just rinse them?
Just rinse them in water, in cold water. Or,
Okay.
I guess it was cold. Yeah.
As cold as you can get in Phoenix?
Yeah. See, I've never
Eva's
done.
good at what does it just say?
Reverse
Reverse engineering
engineering.
things. Ouch, hot, hot, hot. Well, you know what her skill is too, is she's not afraid to try things, which I guess I sometimes am. A little
Yeah, I'm a directions follower.
bit. Look,
Give me
this
any
has-
if you
look.
give me directions, I can. Yeah.
Where did
So
you?
it must be from the
It must be from the table.
tablecloth.
We're finding little dots of
Just so
dye
they know, steam is coming off this water.
Wow.
Out of the tap.
out of the tap.
Now, I have it on hot, I don't have it on cold, but.
Well, the pipes do add.
Yes, the pipes add hot.
Sorry.
In the winter, I can take a bath just using the cold water. I mean, in the summer, I don't have to put in. I don't have to put hot on. And right now, it's too hot for me to put my hand in it.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. This other water is almost full. So Beth, add half a bottle of water color into each one.
Oh.
Before the water or after the water?
Huh? After the water, the one that's got all the water.
Yeah. Are you gonna add another gallon to that one?
No, just, well, I have one of the.
This has blue spots all over it.
One that doesn't have water.
Okay.
This has blue spots all over it.
That's all.
No, it must have come from the table.
Yeah.
Because this one Beth didn't have. This was in the middle of the table, Eve.
I think it's probably on the tablecloth, it's the same one we used before.
Yeah.
I think in the future we need to wipe it down before we put it in.
I
Yeah.
try to wipe it down.
It
Every
must have
time
just
it-
maybe like tiny dots, and
Yeah.
the water in the shirt just soaked it up. I guess. Look,
What am I doing?
you're putting dye
I'm
in there.
putting dye, oh.
See, look.
I'm carrying.
Look.
I'm carrying
Yeah,
the dish.
it'll
dish soap around.
dissipate. And if it doesn't, so what? We're not selling these. We're making shirts for the whole family.
Okay, I'm making purple in this one. I'm shaking well.
My hands are getting raisiny.
I'm gonna need you to hold that bucket steady for me.
Okay, just a second. There. I'm halfway through tying. My hands are getting raisiny. This one?
Yeah. Careful.
Don't burn me.
Well, I don't want to pour it on my front and have a map of Africa like that.
Yeah.
Australia.
Australia.
She burnt herself 2 years ago, and she had a
map
skin
of-
graft, and now she has a
That's
map of
that
Australia.
amazes me. It's like a skin graft, really?
I know. I couldn't believe that.
Okay, so this is the blue.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have any gloves on.
Oh yeah. I don't. I'm gonna take my watch off.
I'm going to keep tying and you add in color, okay?
Yeah.
'Cause that way you have gloves on already.
You know, I didn't even look at what size these gloves are supposedly, but
I hope they're large, because
yeah.
my hands
Yeah.
are ginormous.
They're
What
big
was
on
that
me,
in
so-
Jerry Seinfeld? Man hands.
I know. I know. When we took, so the wedding photographer took this beautiful picture of my ring and Mark's ring, and you could visibly see in the photo that Mark's ring is small. I know. And I'm only 5 feet tall, but I have these
Okay.
giant hands.
Half a bottle.
I know, but I was trying to find a safe place to put
I
this.
had a trash bag up there on the,
Right here.
because I knew there would be trash.
So half a bottle. How do you know what half? How much
Just
is
pour
half?
some in until it feels like half. Don't be so exact.
She doesn't have a window on the side or anything?
No.
Mm-mm.
That's dumb.
Well, because on a lot of projects it tells you to pour in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they tell you to pour in more than you actually need so
I
that you'll
see.
buy more bottles.
Ah,
Give me that.
And with the rubber bands, having different thicknesses is cool because then
can you see? There's like splotches in this shirt. And I don't know what it is. It's white. It's whiter than the rest of the shirt.
I don't know.
Maybe it's sizing or something.
Maybe.
I just rinsed them. I didn't wash them in the washing machine.
I was just curious. Because I thought I'd gotten something dirty on them.
That's very purpley.
Very purple.
Nice. I like purple.
Me too.
Put this on this.
You know, we wear all these
Hey,
tie-dye
Becky.
shirts in the
Huh?
mountains. Tim is going to laugh at us. Our brother,
He's gonna make fun
horrible.
of us.
Well, but we can just take them and give them to everybody in the mountains. They can wear them or not. I don't care. Just so everybody has one, you know.
Yeah, I know. Just joking. I just thought
We
about
picked
that.
our logo colors. Beth and I. Beth, you want to switch sides so you can put the
Yeah.
dye on this one?
Yeah.
Take your dirty knife and your cloth.
And my
with you.
dirty cloth. Got a little dog.
The
Robe
dog
wants to
is
help.
Enjoying the. Is there salt
Dog.
in here?
Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's in there except the dye.
And the soap. I haven't put the soap in there yet.
Oh, did you put the soap in this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't you see the bubbles?
Oh.
The bubbles?
Is that
And the bubbles? And the bubbles?
Is that what that is?
Bubbles?
I don't remember at work if we put soap in it or not. Remember that we used a lot of salt because we did a lot of colors, not just. Sometimes we did just two, like when we did this. And sometimes we let them just do stuff.
So is this?
So we're doing
Is it
9
this
shirts.
good?
That's why it's taking us so
The most
long.
difficult thing for me is to be random. Like I cannot be random. Like when you're making a design or something and you have to just randomize something. I have so much trouble with that.
A lot of
My
people do.
brain will not let me
A lot of people
like
have
not
this issue.
create a pattern. It's awful, and that's how I feel with this tying. Like trying to be sort of random, but
But see, the nice thing about this is that it has to be random because you're never going to put the rubber band exactly the same way. But you're doing it regimented because you're putting them in the same place.
I know. But I'm just like so like I was looking at this one and see how this neck piece is further away from the sleeve than this one is, and I was like, should I take that out?
No.
No, because I have to force myself to not.
Well, you know, on Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. Steph is talking about they're both doing this thing with some friends of theirs called, I think it's called My Lasting Friendship or something like that. But so I think each person has has
Do you need the trash bag again?
yeah, part of this pattern. But so like I think each person has crap, this will come off. Wait, hang on.
So bigger shirts, you can use more rubber bands. So that you don't have whole areas that are just color and not
Did you shake it already?
not tie-dyed. But the smaller shirts, you run out of real estate. So
I start by getting the bottom of the shirt and doing the 2 corners like that, and then one in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do here.
But she was talking about how in this particular pattern, one of the people had like just said, you know, here's a bunch of colors, do whatever you want wherever, you know, rather than.
I couldn't do
And
that.
she was like, oh, you know.
I could not do that.
That's
Yeah.
what I think. That's why you're struggling with finishing Pandemic.
No, just because I haven't
It's so
done it. I haven't
big.
worked on
I
it.
know it's a huge pattern.
I worked on it. I worked on it yesterday, as a matter of
I
fact.
was surprised you bought it.
I bought it because it's beautiful, and I, you know me.
Yeah,
I
shiny
get,
things.
Yes, shiny things, and I get it, and I have this much done, like all my other cross stitch patterns.
Oh,
I'll
last
say-
one.
I was gonna say that Santa Claus that you bought.
So on the top, I'm gonna.
Oh gosh, I thought I broke it.
It doesn't matter. On the top, I'm gonna
If you
wrap
hit
each
me.
sleeve, and the corner of each collar. Oh, just let me show it to you. Collar part, as well as the bottoms, like she did. And then because this is a larger shirt, I can pull up in the middle, so it ends up looking like that. And it doesn't matter how many of these you have. And we're almost ready to start dyeing, and that's the fun part.
What were you gonna say about the start?
Oh, that
this?
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I hadn't looked at to see all the different colors in it or whatever. Is it full coverage or
Uh-huh.
is it? No.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say it would be interesting if you did like tea dyed or coffee dyed in the fabric.
Oh, I already started
Yeah,
it. So.
but, yeah.
But yeah, it's full coverage, and it's
Well,
on like a.
That's what I was gonna say is like the part that's the music.
Oh
She bought
yeah,
it
you're
home.
right. That's not.
Yeah.
She bought a Dimensions kit. Dimensions? Or was it a different brand?
Dimensions.
Yeah.
Dimensions or dimensions.
That's the
gold
one
or whatever.
I talked
Yeah.
about last Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started it to avoid my master hand knitting program. Knitting.
Have you done any more on your master hand?
No, I have not.
Shame on you.
I know.
Let me get these out of the way. Once they have all these rubber bands in, they're heavy.
They're heavy anyway because they're wet. My hands are getting wrinkly.
That's all right. They'll unwrinkle, and they'll wrinkle more in the swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go swimming afterward while these things are in the dryer, drying. And
We
then,
will not film outside
no,
at the swimming pool.
no.
No. So I've been watching while I knit. I've been watching all three of the Lord of the Rings movies, and I'm in the middle of. Well, you can never tell, but I think I'm in the middle of Return of the King now. Far enough away from the camera. I ate a donut. I have frosting on my face.
Looking to apply. Or looking to apply. Applying to a large item, use a washing machine method, sink or bucket method. For every pound of dry fabric.
I know a lady on, I mean, I don't know her. She's a YouTuber, but she had a sweater that she didn't like, and she dyed it. She dyed the
Well,
wool.
I dyed all the
So
fabric for
do
those Star
you-
Trek uniforms
do you-
made out of spandex. Let me tell you, dyeing spandex is a chore in itself.
Oh, wow.
Now they make a a dye for synthetics, but at that time, no. We were making them for a Star Trek cruise. Okay, we're geeks. We were making them for a Star Trek cruise.
Your geek is showing.
Where we were going to be in a talent show, and we were singing Scotty Bring Me a Dream to the tune of Sandman. And
And I wrote excellent lyrics.
Yes.
I have to admit.
yes, she did. I can still remember most of them.
I thought I found that somewhere.
No.
No, you wrote it.
No. I'm saying I thought I found the writing
Oh.
that I wrote. I know what I did. I didn't go on the cruise because I'm not that big of a nerd. But I wrote it. So that means I'm a little bit of a nerd. I guess.
A lot of a nerd. I'm sorry. Because you just said you were watching all three Lord of the Rings, didn't you?
Yes. My nerd badge. Remember we talked about nerd? Oh,
So you put the soap and everything, you put the dye and everything, and
I
now
didn't put the fixative in there.
you put it in now?
That's what I was trying to
Well,
read.
where's the fixative? Read it.
Right, it's right here in my hand.
Oh, I thought that was purple.
For every pound of dry fabric, It basically reads the same instructions, but stovetop method, if you're working with small items or looking to apply blah 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 blah. For applying the large item, sink or bucket method, very time to dry fabric, hot water. This is the same instructions on the
I'll
thing.
say just put in however much it says.
I know. Ideally, water temperature
She has
blah
to read.
blah.
She has to read.
fabric.
Okay.
Stir consistently for 20 minutes. Rinse with cool water. For great fixative. So
Does it say how much? It just said add.
yeah,
I would just put a half a
heat
bottle
water
in each.
to almost boiling temperature for the duration of use.
Because the water is just cooling off while we're doing this. So. Okay. So now what we're gonna do
I guess you added to the.
is put on gloves. Put on that shirt, Naomi.
Okay, just a second. I have one more tied.
I'm gonna add this.
You take like half a bottle
I
each.
guess, yeah.
Well, it
It
said half a
doesn't say.
bottle of dye, so you
It
know.
doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
It just says add it.
And of course, this doesn't have a whatchamacallit,
Get that knife.
a peel off thing.
Here's some gloves for you. So which is going to be the top, the purple or the blue? I say purple.
Blue.
Purple.
I
Okay,
don't care.
Beth, you can make your top blue if you
Doesn't
want to.
matter to me.
It doesn't really matter. Now, we have 3 buckets here. This bucket does not have anything in it. And what we're going to do is hang them
Put this in there.
like this.
It's probably more than half there. Just let end of the piece.
Here. Let
I'm
me
gonna
stir
be
it.
hot. But I'm gonna put this on.
You could.
Like when you're a little kid, you put on a big shirt to paint in. Put my painting shirt on.
I was gonna say you might want to change because that's not gonna
You
cover
want to take
your-
it off? Your other shirt?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
That was on sale anyway.
Hang on.
What was the yarnology shirt? The yarnologist shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you love it. Okay, so we're gonna find here the top of the
This is the top of this one.
shirt by looking for the tag,
Yeah.
and I may have tied it in here.
Here, this is the top of this one. You can start that.
So yeah, find me the tops. So Beth, you're gonna do the bottoms, and we're gonna just dunk it in and leave it on the side like that.
This is the top. You tied that one weird.
Okay, so what? Okay.
This one's little. This is Dad's.
Yes.
It's so tiny.
This is the top.
Yeah.
And this is the top.
I think I handed it to you. Yeah. See, right there.
Okay.
Top. Can I
Make sure.
start the bottoms over here?
Yeah.
Oh, I need gloves. My hands
Maybe
are.
you want to take your watch off because you don't want to put dye on your watch.
All right. Well. So Eli, last night we got a wild hair to rearrange the kitchen, and we, you pull at a thread and then the whole thing unravels. So that's what happened, and
This is the top because there's 4. Okay.
and so part of the things that we were taking out was there were these plastic plates from the kids' life, like their whole life, you know. And
I still have all of Robert's plastic plates.
I know, and so we had them in a stack in the center of the floor, like idiots. He's laughing in there, and then so Eli
Here,
was
put all the rest of those in there.
handing us stuff, and he was walking back and forth, and he's got a blind spot and everything, and you know he's got paralysis on one side, and so we didn't, you know.
You weren't thinking.
Anyway, he stepped on those plastic plates and went flying.
Oh my
And
gosh.
landed on his head.
Mm.
Well, his kind of his back.
I bet you
Here,
guys
hold
were
this one.
scared.
Huh?
Hold that one in, that end.
So
Get all the knots
my
in.
hands are going to
Knots
get
are in.
seriously purple
Okay.
when I wring these out. So I'm going to have to hand them to you with the purple side up, and you can dunk them in the blue.
Okay.
Okay?
Trying to get all the knots in.
And right now I'm just making sure that we're getting some coverage, and I'm checking how dark they are. We want a nice purple. Oop, got some of the top in here. Oh well.
That's yours.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. Oh, and this water is hot. So, ow. And see, once I wrung this out,
Ooh,
I feel like it's
Yeah.
not
pretty.
purple enough.
Yeah.
What?
It's pretty.
Yeah, that's the teal.
Well, it says like 30 to 60 minutes if you if you're
Super saturated.
yeah. So
Well, this was maybe 5 minutes.
You should have some paper towels or something.
Yeah, Beth, why don't you, since your hands are relatively clean, we're gonna get us some paper towels. I think this is Dad's, and it was hard for me to stick just one side in. Maybe this one's Dad's. I don't know. My father is about this big around.
And now he's about as tall as me now.
He shrunk.
A little bit, I think.
I was filling out a life insurance application, and it said current height.
Current height.
Current height, not height. Current height.
Here, you gonna wipe your hands?
Yeah. Just letting it, because some of this looks really dark, like this,
Ooh, pretty.
but when I wring it out,
It lightens.
you can tell that it's not as saturated. I'm probably putting purple on the rest of it. That's okay.
That's nice.
That's actually not too bad. So I'm going to lay this here.
Okay.
Okay. We have 2 plastic tablecloths on this table. 2.
That's nice.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, this is starting.
What
to be-
about this?
Oh, that's beautiful. Squeeze it so that you can tell.
see
if-
right there, it's got
It's got some,
little crunches,
yeah, it's got little,
something.
like,
something in the
probably the
shirt.
salt,
Oh, yeah.
dyed
could
salt
be.
that didn't mix in.
Ooh, I like that.
That's pretty. Here you go.
Okay. I'm gonna get all these out so I don't splash it. All right, let me move this.
Ooh, hot.
So when you're doing something like this, no matter how many rubber bands you think you have enough, you're gonna need more. Oh, unless you're just doing one. But, you know, you'd rather have too many rather than say, well, I guess we're not gonna put a rubber band there, you know?
It's interesting, this was at the very bottom and it didn't get very dyed. I'll let that sit a little longer.
It depends on how long it was there, not how deep it is.
Yeah, no, I said I'm gonna set it a little longer.
Yeah.
So now we.
Yeah. So I have to be very careful when I'm picking up these other ones that I use the hand that wasn't squeezing.
You want another towel? I mean, a glove?
Yeah, I better. Because her hand is going to be blue.
Yeah. Do you need another one or just one?
No, just one.
This one's kind of light, but it didn't want to take it very well. Maybe it was drying up a little,
I don't know.
but it's fine.
Do you need another glove?
No, I'm just going to use this glove on the purple.
I dunk mine in like this because sometimes the knots need help getting saturated so that they'll dangle in better.
You have 2 knots close to one, and one is purple, and the one next to it is not getting in the water. There it is.
Yeah, that happens. So, and some, if
Yeah,
it's
that
really
one's-
close together or it's a small shirt,
Dripping.
you may have to just hold it rather than let it dangle off the side.
Yeah.
And you have to wait before you can take these rubber bands off.
That one right on this, yeah, that one is dripping a little bit. The blue is dripping on. See that little puff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
FYI.
Okay.
FYI.
And they'll dry quite a bit different color than what we see here.
I thought this was 2 shirts. This must be one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, we only have 9 shirts. So. And most of these are
I got it.
men's undershirts. They're,
Cheap.
well,
Per-
actually, per shirt, the ones in the tie-dye area were cheaper, but those only went up to a large, maybe an extra large. I don't think so, but maybe. But as you can tell, a large is not going to fit me or her.
Or
So.
me.
So yeah, so and you know you can get them 3 or 5, I mean 3 or 6 in a pack or whatever, and you know it's like okay that one, you know, and they're 100% cotton, so it's
Well, like we to get a small one for Dad, we had to go buy them individually because they just
they didn't it's like I wasn't going to spend for 3
Right.
because
He's the
nobody
only
else
one
in his
that's
family is
tiny.
that small. Yeah.
Yeah. Those look good.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna,
feel like the teal isn't as dark, but
well, look at here
yeah.
but it isn't a dark color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a light color. It's intended to be light. So we're gonna leave these to dry a little bit before we put them in. Take the rubber bands off, and then we're gonna put them in the dryer. And then
Let's see how they turn out.
then we'll take some shots
Yeah.
to show you what they look like. So I'm gonna start hanging them around here when they're done in here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why the empty bucket. Because it's easier than just laying them out because the excess dye will drip on either side,
Mhm.
and we don't have to worry about the table because of the cloth.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's okay if some of it's a little lighter than other parts of it because it's intended to not be the same everywhere. So I really like the way this came out. It's almost the same coloring as this shirt.
What do you say? That looks very familiar.
Well, you know why? Because I was one that decided what colors was over at Cephas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I said, I think we're going to use these colors this time. But it wasn't teal. I don't know what color this was. It wasn't teal. Maybe it was, but I don't think so. I think this darker color saturates faster.
Yeah. But those don't look bad.
No, they look good.
So I know that with when you're with powder dyes, like people who dye yarn, it does uptake and pretty soon the water turns clear, but that doesn't happen with RIT.
Well, I've never used the RIT powder. Maybe it does, but I don't think so. I've never seen it happen. And I've dyed a lot. Is that true?
Like the dye stays the same no matter
Yeah.
how long you,
So
how many
try-
things you put in it.
Oh, I just dyed my arm purple.
Mm-hmm.
That little purple spot on my arm, you probably can't see it. It'll stay there for a while. Hence the gloves.
Or these look lighter than the other ones?
It doesn't matter, but yeah. Try to put them all with the purple down because they'll touch each other.
Okay.
Once we get all 9 on there, they'll touch each other.
See that? Like in the.
I have a
I'm
blue
telling you, I
hand,
think it's
a
the
blue
salt.
hand and a purple hand.
Look, it just rubs in.
Yeah.
It'll just be an effect. See, that seems very light to me.
That's not the purple hand. Okay.
Yeah, I think the salt didn't completely
Dissolve in that one.
dissolve.
You had poor mixing. Is that what you're saying?
I guess so.
Super saturated solution.
I'm really excited. I think. Well, this has always been my favorite of the tie dyes. In the video, you probably can't tell it's blue on the top, but it is.
It's fading.
Well, yeah, because it's like, I don't know, 7 years old, 6 years old.
That's nice.
All right. So that's it for now.
Come back when they're dry.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. We went swimming, and it was too cold to actually swim because we're wimps in Arizona.
It's 102 today. That's not warm enough.
It's not warm enough. So here's the first one.
And that one was, I haven't rinsed it or anything. This is the second one I undid, and I rinsed this one. You can see the colors didn't come out, you know.
Didn't wash out, which means.
Yeah. We're gonna put them in a washing machine with
Cold water.
cold water and no soap or anything, and then put them in the dryer.
Oh, I forgot to put gloves on.
Oh.
There's the gloves.
Get some
Right
fun.
here. And to take the rubber bands off is the big challenge, because now that the shirt is wet,
Is that one? Did I give you just one?
Yeah.
they're harder to take off.
Oh, I only have one glove.
Especially since,
Oh, yeah, there's, here.
especially since when you're tying them on, you don't have to wear gloves. But it's best to wear gloves when you're taking them off, because I don't know if you probably can't. This hand, they're very dyed, my gloves. So be sure you wear gloves whenever you're handling the clothing after it's dyed, before it, you know, you put it in a wash, because you will get covered in dye.
Nice and warm.
That's trash.
Love
This is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And it's fun to see how each one is so different, and yet they're kind of the same. And, you know, of course, you don't have to use 2 colors of dye. It's just the way I started doing it, and I like the fact that it's a little bit different. You can even dunk the middle in a 3rd color of dye if you want to. And some of these will have dye right up until almost the other one, and others
Have a larger.
have a
white
larger
space.
white area, just depending on the size of the dye and where we stuck it in the water, and, you know. So, this is one of the smaller ones. Woo, how pretty. And this has a fat rubber band on it, so it's gonna have a bigger white area in the rings.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
Yeah. So, that one, that's, remember you said some of it didn't dye, that's why, because it had a wider rubber band.
That's cool.
And this sleeve has a tiny rubber band, so one sleeve's gonna be practically white and the other sleeve will be really purple. So that's what's really nice, is that there's all this random that you can put in just by using different colors, so different sizes of rubber bands. And the really nice thing is rubber bands don't cost very much. But if you wanna reuse your rubber bands, be sure you know, wash them a little bit, because the color will stay on the rubber, so wash them off, get the dye off of them.
Or if you don't wanna undo them, you can cut them.
But
Yeah. Or you can throw them away if you don't wanna wash them. Like I said, the rubber bands are not that expensive. This is, the biggest expense in doing something like this is the
t-shirts.
The t-shirts, yeah, that was, but like I said, if you get, look at that, how pretty. Oh, look, both sleeves did end up good. This one was twisted more too, I think. I don't know. But they're very, very different.
Cool.
Yeah. 4 down. 5 more to go. Here, I'll do this
Well, this is, I think this is Dad's.
one. Is it?
A little bitty.
Maybe. Looks like a big. I almost got Hannah a youth size. I was like, oh no.
Nope.
It was a good thing I was rechecking the sizes because I looked at it and went, okay, that's not good.
Well, she's not very big, but you like a comfy shirt.
Yeah, you don't want something all snug.
Okay.
Although there are a lot of people that do like.
Yeah, this
it
is
tight.
Dad's, I told you.
Is it? And one thing you need to remember when you're doing tie-dye is that it's very difficult to get everything. We tied these in relatively the same way,
Is that one?
and they're very
Oh,
different.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty. Does one side not have any purple and the other side does? On the top?
I don't know if this isn't all schwitzy.
Oh, that's good.
We saw it came out when I rinsed that one, it
Yeah.
came out, yeah.
So we saw some, there's some look like powdery.
This is,
Dark
I don't know if this is for my gloves or what there's
It
blue
doesn't
in
matter.
there.
It's okay.
But yeah,
No, it's both sleeves.
Yeah, but it's more like on one side, watch it, the frescoes, more on one side than the other,
This is Dad's.
which is fine, you know. My tiny dad.
Little baby daddy.
Here, let me see. I love it.
this reminds me of that story about that woman with her a whole bunch of kids and each one has a different colored ball cap. And they go on like some canoeing or trip and the canoe tips over and like, but anyway, it's got all these kids. She's like constantly, they're I guess like, she's trying to make sure she has all the kids with her. She's like looking at all the colored caps.
Well, what's better about the way, tie-dyeing something, making the shirts yourself, is that we would use them when we went to the zoo with the groups that I had, so that we could just look and nobody else is gonna buy that exact same shirt because they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see that shirt, that's one of your party.
Yeah.
And if one of your party gets lost, you could say, have you seen somebody wearing a shirt exactly like this?
Mhm.
Because everybody's wearing the same one, even the staff. We would make them for the staff too. That's how come I have so many. And we would do it about once a season, because we would get different people in and, they wouldn't have a shirt and all that, so. So if you have a lot of kids, or you have, or you're working with groups like church groups or
Or
school groups.
family reunions, people do this
Family
kind of stuff.
reunions, yeah. We're just going on a family vacation. And I wanted to make them for the 3 of us, and I started thinking about it, and I said, well, there's gonna be plenty of dye.
Is that one? Oh, is it?
Did you miss one?
Yeah.
There's that one. Uh-oh.
What?
Maybe we should have thought about placement.
Oops.
What size is that? I hope a guy can wear that one.
I don't think so. Even a guy's not gonna wanna wear this. It's a 3XL.
I'll wear it, I don't care.
It's a boob
Look,
shirt.
you're right here too.
Oops. So be careful of making graphic tees. Oh my gosh. Does this one have it?
No.
No.
Kind of.
No, not as bad.
Not as bad,
Just the
no.
down on the bottom where your belly is. That's okay. No, this is the first one I've seen that's really, really kind of. My son's turning red over there.
Well, this one has just one, see?
Okay.
That's okay.
Princess Creative becomes X-rated.
In a boob
It's
shirt.
not intended for children. Oh my gosh.
That's all of them.
All right, cool.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this.
Thanks for joining us for our special episode. And make sure you subscribe and like and hit the notification button so you'll find out whenever we do these crazy
And be
things.
careful when watching this with children.
Yeah. The X-rated shirt at the end. Bye.
Bye.